Hello there. How are you? Happy Thursday. It's Taylor Reilly here, and I'm so excited to connect with you today and hopefully share some tips and offer some support so you can reach your health goals. And today we're going to be talking about, especially this time of year, right? What I hear a lot, and I was just talking about with some of my clients, is this kind of compulsion to do more, right? And we stack on, whether it's, wrapping up things for Q4 at work, whether it is, commitments for the holidays, whether it is, trying to plan and strategize for things in the new year, other events that you're planning, whatever it is, it seems to be very prevalent right now. And I thought very important to have this conversation. How doing more and constantly pushing and driving through takes you further away from your health goals and often really hinders your productivity and your ability to actually be successful in the things that you're trying to do, right? So, what if we could do less and have a greater result? And the truth is, you can. And we're going to talk about that today. And I'm really excited to dive in with you. So tell me if this sounds familiar. I was talking to three of my incredible clients just a few minutes ago, and they are just awesome, incredible, inspiring individuals. One of them is celebrating that she is at the lowest weight she's been in 20 years and feeling so good. Another one, after just 7 weeks, is completely off her diabetes medication and just got word from her doctor that she is no longer diabetic and she no longer has to take her blood sugar or anything like that. And she's feeling really energized and she's lost, like, I think it's 16 or 18 pounds to boot in less than 2 months. And, my clients see wins like this all the time. And what are they doing differently? What are they doing differently? Because the truth is, even when we start to implement changes in how we take care of ourselves, it can feel again like that stacking on, right? There's more to do. And we're just adding to that already overwhelming feeling that you're living with day in and day out, right? And what does that look like? Right? It looks like, you've created such a high standard for yourself that, we were talking today about, juggling the balls, right? We feel like we have to juggle all of the balls up in the air and that we can never rest, right? We can never pass any of them off, that we just have to keep going in order to see the progress we want in our health, in order to see the type of returns we want in our career, in order to be able to serve at the level we want to support our family, our friends, our communities. And what does that really do to you? Right? That puts you in a perpetual state of stress, of overwhelm, of anxiety. That leads you to feel exhausted, right? Just sluggish throughout the day. One of my gorgeous clients, excuse me one second, so noisy outside. One of my gorgeous clients who has got just the biggest heart, you guys. She is just does so much for so many. She is a really heart-driven leader in the field of real estate, and where other people are looking to take advantage, she is always like trying to help her clients find the most beautiful home for them, at the best rates possible. And she wants to make sure they're taken care of. And it's so important to her. And, in the pursuit of doing that and take care of her health and take care of, her family for Christmas, she's like, Taylor, but I'm like wrapping presents at 2 a.m. right? Trying to get it all done. And what happens there is that's when we start to see, like I said, we're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, but really in that chronic state of stress, it takes you further from your health goal. It makes it harder to lower that A1C and finally resolve that insulin resistance. It makes it harder to release that weight. It makes it harder for you to feel energized and motivated and excited. Instead, it just feels like, oh, I have to get through this. I have to do this, right? And the way, this beautiful individual shared, she's like, I feel like I'm just always responding to the needs of others. And I'm exhausting. Who can relate? I mean, my goodness, right? And like I said, this time of year, I see that even more than usual, right? So, what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? Right? What if I told you we didn't have to continue to stack on in order for you to be successful? What if, in taking a step back and shifting the way you look at things and shifting the way you prioritize things, you can actually do less and have even greater outcomes? Anybody want that? Everybody, right? Everybody. And that's part of the work that I get to do with my clients. A lot of people think it's like, oh, if I just change the food, or oh, if I just start exercising, or oh, if you just tell me like the secret magical formula combination of supplements that are suddenly going to make, all of my concerns go away. You guys know that that's not true, right? I have no magic beans over here. The one thing that you can do to really turn that around so you can feel vibrant, so you can have the stamina and clarity that you want, so you can say goodbye to that brain fog, so you can stop feeling embarrassed about your body, but feel really empowered and confident in it, and feel in control of your health and in control of your life again, because this is not exclusive to one area, right? What shows up in one area is usually a pattern across the board. Right. So when we're feeling overwhelmed in our health, we're feeling overwhelmed in our career, we're feeling overwhelmed with our family, we're feeling overwhelmed with our commitments. Right. And the one thing that I want to invite you to consider right now, first and foremost, right? We always want to take a look at the mindset behind it. What is the story that's driving that? Right? What is the outcome? First of all, of course, we talk about outcomes. What is the outcome you want? And I presumed that for you already, right? If the outcome that you want is to have great success and feel the best you can in your health, to have great success and be a leader at work, to have, great success and be who you want to be as a parent, as a child, as a spouse, as a friend, as a sibling, right? As a member of your community. In order to do all of those things, I want to encourage you to think about, okay, what is stopping me? And often it is this belief that you single handedly are responsible for doing all of the things at 100%, at this very high level, all of the time. Or what else happens, right? The balls start to drop, right? That's how we were talking about it today, right? So, of course, you're constantly responding. And when you're constantly responding, what's happening is your body is in a constant state of stress. You are constantly reactionary. Excuse me, my dog really wants to be a part of this conversation. Come on in, Lulu. What's wrong? Right? And when we're constantly responding and we're constantly, putting other people's urgency as our top priority, it's just not sustainable, right? So while I want to share with you strategy to shift these things, as you know, I'm a big proponent that mindset is the bigger work here. That has to come first, right? It's 80% mindset, 20% strategy. So I would love for you to start getting curious. What's the story I tell myself? Well, the story I tell myself maybe sounds like, well, nobody else is going to do it as good as I can do it. Or if I don't do all of these things, then, it's not going to be as good, as fun, as special. Or if I don't do all of the things, then people won't, think I love them enough, or that I'm doing enough, or that I'm not enough, right? It always comes down to those two fundamental fears. That is it good enough? Am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? And if I drop one of the balls, will I still be loved and valued and respected and appreciated? Right? So get curious about that first and foremost, because until you understand your own internal dialogue and why you're making this true, we can't break that down and create a new story that's more empowering, right? One where you don't feel guilty to sit down and take care of yourself or schedule your care into your calendar the same way you would schedule in a doctor appointment, a birthday party, right? A work conference. And yet, so many of us don't prioritize ourselves that way because we have some type of story, some type of limiting belief, whether it's people pleasing, perfectionism, whatever it comes up for you. And this is something that I help my clients dive really deep into, because until we rip out those weeds, you're always just going to be feeling like you're hustling with a strategy. We really need to make the shift about how we think about the problem first, right? I talk about that all the time. There's two ways to solve a problem, right? Two ways to overcome a challenge. Change the way you think about the challenge, and then change your strategy. So we've always got to change the way we think about the challenge first, and then we can implement a new and improved strategy. Right. So get curious there. And if you need some help, I want to invite you, as always, to book a call with me, because often when we are in the jar, we can't read the label on the outside, right? We're so deeply embedded in our own patterns that we can't even identify what they are anymore. And that's where an expert coach really is going to be able to help you cut the time from where you are to where you want to be, to be as little as possible. Go ahead, Lulu. Speaking of stress and overwhelm, has anybody else's dog been going crazy with all the Amazon deliveries and all the packages coming and going in the neighborhood? Poor dog. So again, change the way we think about the problem. Now, in terms of changing what we do about it, and like I said, how can we do less to do more? I want to invite you to think about, what am I doing to fill up my cup? Right? We can't just keep pouring it all out without filling it up. So, what strategies are you implementing to take yourself out of that chronic stress place, right? That place where we are just reacting with urgency, and shift over to our relax and restore and rejuvenating state, right? Or at school, we talk about it like fight or flight, right? Does anybody remember from elementary school, fight, flight, or freeze? And that's what we feel when we're in overwhelm, right? Or when we're feeling like there's just too much to do and we can't do it. And our natural response sometimes is to just keep doing more, because we have this underlying story about what it means about us if we don't. But the truth is once you're able to stop and say, hey, I'm going to change that story, and now I'm going to schedule this time for myself. What are you doing to fill your cup up? So depending on where you are in your health journey, what you're struggling with, what your goals are, there's a variety of evidence-based strategies that you can implement, whether it is exercise for alleviating stress, whether it is shifting the way that you're eating, whether it is, improving the quality of your sleep, whether it is in doing some type of meditation, like guided muscle relaxation or some type of breath work, right? All of these things are rooted in science and highly effective, but it really depends on where you are, where you want to go, and what is going to be the most effective tool for you. So today I spoke with my clients about learning to practice taking mindful time. And that afternoon period, this one individual was talking about, like 3 or 4 o'clock, she's usually so tired and sometimes she naps, but more often than not, she just pushes through. So we said, well, what would happen if you honored that urge to just rest and to allow your body to rest fully? And we talked about how to utilize a quick 10-minute guided muscle relaxation exercise to really calm her physiology. Because when we're able to relax our physiology, we're able to change the neurotransmitters. We're able to actually change how our body is perceiving the stresses around us, how our brain is perceiving the stress around us. So, in doing less, by taking that time to pull back instead of push forward, but to pull back and just sit and let your body fully go into a few moments of relaxation, you're able to think more clearly. You're able to access more energy. You're able to lift your mood and feel in control again and feel empowered and confident again, right? You're able to go out then and tackle all of the big, beautiful things that you want to do, but do them at a higher level. So you're not, juggling a few things, being kind of the about them, but you're able to really hit those goals at a higher level because you were able to connect and allow your body to rest so it can repair and restore, and then it's going to be able to serve you better. Then when with practice, right, not only will you see the relief and the results instantaneously, and I want you to notice, whatever it is you choose to do to fill your cup up, notice how you feel before, how you feel during, how you feel after. Take a just look as the observer, right, at the mind chatter. Is the mind going like this? Is the body tense? Or the shoulders tight? Is the jaw clenched? Or the hands clenched? Is the stomach turning? Right? And then notice how you feel during, and then notice how you feel after. And not only will you feel better, like I was saying in that moment, but when you repeat these practices over time, you're rewiring how your body is handling stress, right? You are allowing yourself to heal at a deeper level so that you can actually go out and conquer all those things you want to do. So, who is this resonating with? Leave a comment for me. I'm happy to help you. I'm here for you. It is my honor to be of service. So, go ahead, leave a comment, share with me. First, I want to hear, you know, what is the story that you have been telling yourself that is keeping you in this state of overwhelm and fatigue and feeling like, what is the story under there? Right? Because we need to know what that is so we can really take a look at and why it's there and how to rip it out. Right? And then what else could be true about that story that you're telling yourself, right? One of my mentors says, go Byron Katie on it. Go Byron Katie on that belief, right? And for those of you who aren't familiar with Byron Katie, she's brilliant. You can go to her website. She practices what's called the work, and it's a series of asking yourself certain questions to get to the bottom of, what limiting beliefs are coming up for you and why they're keeping you stuck. So, get curious about that, and from that place, decide, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel in a constant state of overwhelm and anxiety? For some of us, that's a trauma response, right? Staying busy, staying active so we don't have to look or think about the things that are really challenging to us, whether if that's diabetes for you or whatever else that is. I see that 9 times out of 10 with the clients that come to me because they happen to be highly ambitious, motivated individuals. And when they get that diabetes diagnosis, they just want to conquer it. They want to conquer it. They're not going to stick their head in the ground and pretend like it's not happening. They are not going to glaze over it and pretend like everything's just going to be fine. They are like, oh, we got to solve this right now. Right? So get curious about the story and then get curious about the strategy. Maybe you don't have one, and that's okay. We're not here to judge or make ourselves wrong, but we are here to make some changes, right? If you were in this room with me right now, the proverbial room, so to speak, right? Then it's because you recognize that you need to make some changes here. So, what's something that you want to commit to? Go ahead and leave that in the comments too. What's something that you want to commit to starting today that you're going to do for yourself to calm your physiology, to take a step back so you can rest and recharge and repair and restore and rejuvenate? So many wonderful words to describe that process, and refill your cup so you can step back into your life and be empowered again. Because when we're able to do that, that is when we are able to create really magical things. Right. And for those of you who like to visualize and call in beautiful things for yourself, it's from that place that we create, that place where we are filled up and empowered, not from a place of scarcity, not from a place of anxiety, not from a place of overwhelm. So, yeah, so share with me in the comments. And if any of this feels challenging, because listen, it can be very simple, to get back into non diabetic range, lose that weight once and for all, build your energy and feel vibrant and healthy. It can be very simple, but it's certainly not easy. Right? It's certainly not easy. And having an expert with you to help you with a proven strategy, to help you personalize that strategy for you and help you hold your hands and help shine a light on some of the things that have been keeping you stuck and sabotaging you. Having that expert help is invaluable. And that's how I'm able to support my clients to going from being overweight, overtired, overwhelmed with their diabetes and their health and their life, and in just 3 short months, we're able to turn it around. So they are back in control and vibrating at a high level and feeling like they are conquering the world because they are. And if you would like some help to be able to conquer your overwhelm and conquer your health problems so you can feel your best, then again, feel free to book a call with me. I'm here for you. We'll hop on the phone for about 45 minutes or an hour. We'll uncover what's been keeping you stuck. We'll get to the root causes of it. We'll take a look at exactly where you want to go and what's possible for you. And then I will help you create a step by step strategy personalized for you to get into action so you can finally do all of the things that you want and enjoy doing it instead of having it feel like a burden. Sound good? Okay, great. Wishing you all a beautiful rest of the day, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye now.